When is the next test?
I don't
Ours
know.
is until after spring break.
Oh,
We
okay.
get saved.
They
We
like-
have to do packet through spring break.
They cut my jacket
Ugh.
and then I'm like bleeding out on the floor and I'm like, oh,
I don't know. That's a good question.
All right,
don't even get me.
here we go. Happy March Madness Day. Happy Go Zips Day. Today the Akron Zips are going to beat Creighton and move on to the second round. Because Go Zips, that's why not. All right, let's go over this lab. On the lab, I graded each one of these. B, what happened for the entropy? Well, ice melted, so it got more disordered, which should be a positive sign. Number 2, do you think what is the enthalpy? Endothermic, it would have felt cold. The ice was taking heat in. D, solve for delta H. Most people got this, 6 kilojoules.
Oh my god, I freaking hate
E,
that monkey.
what? That's a stonky. The PBIS monkey, yes. What do you think the sign for delta G is? It's spontaneous, because the ice melted. Once it started melting, it kept melting. F, so products minus reactants, you got 22 joules per Kelvin. G, at what temperature does this reaction become non-spontaneous? It says show your calculation, but you knew the answer had to be what? And you knew your answer should have been 273 Kelvin, which is what?
Room temperature.
Freezing,
Oh yeah, you're right.
right? It will be non-spontaneous if you just get it to the freezing point of ice. Now, when I started grading these, I took off points because some of you said 272, but then I realized that was just SIGDIGS doing that to you. So then I gave you that point back. But technically, it should be 273. It's a show your work. So 0 equals 6 minus t 0.0022, and you get 273.
You're saying 270.
270s.
Temperature doesn't exist. Yes, I know the temperature doesn't exist. No, 270 and 273.
270 is not.
270 doesn't exist. Yes.
It exists. It's just not close enough to 273. I'm not sure you got 270.
Oh, I did 270 because of SIGDIGS. Oh. I think that's why.
Yeah, I did.
SIGDIGS because the 6.0 kilojoules was 2 SIGDIGS.
How did I?
Well, that still doesn't make sense. Oh, you had 6.0 kilojoules?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that point back.
You don't have to.
No, I will, if you remind me. What is the driving force of this reaction? What's going to make this negative? Well, I have my negative is a positive minus a positive. So the thing I have a positive delta H, which means my delta S has to be bigger than that positive. Agreed to make it negative? Okay, this is one thing that people missed. You guys I want to make sure you guys are good with this. A positive minus a bigger positive is what's going to make this negative. Therefore, the bigger positive is entropy. That's the driving force. Are we cool with that?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Moving on. See to do some balancing. So 38, 25, 26. Technically, you should have written the negative 15,170 at the end, which I didn't take off for. Predict your sign for each. Delta H should be negative because heat's being released. Delta S should be positive because gas was formed. Delta G should be negative because the candle kept burning. What's up? Go for it.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks. C, you had to solve for X. We did this on a test. So you had to solve for X. So you would say negative 1570, which was the whole equation, equals products minus the reactant. There's only one reactant. Right. So you end up with negative 954.3 kilojoules per mole. That was the most missed question, I would say.
I forgot a negative.
So you had to solve for X.
I forgot a negative.
D was probably the second most missed question.
Go ahead.
Is it possible this reaction could be non-spontaneous? No. What's my answer? How can I justify this? If I have a negative minus a positive, that's going to make it more what? It is not possible to make that a positive delta G. That's all I was looking for on that. So the answer is no. E, how is the T candle affecting spontaneity? It's making it more spontaneous, right? How? Well, increasing the temperature makes it more negative. Increasing entropy makes it more negative. So those all make more negative delta G. So it's making it more spontaneous. Questions on the lab? No questions? Has everybody submitted their bracket? We should have done a bracket in here. That would have been fun.
I didn't, because, yeah, no, I didn't.
Okay.
But I feel like.
So nobody here did a bracket?
Purdue's gonna get out
Okay.
first round.
Who is?
Purdue.
No. That'd be nuts. If Purdue gets out in the first round this year, that coach is getting fired.
Yeah, I feel really bad for the coach, because I was watching his like press conference and he was like trying to defend it.
Did you hear about the coach who got fired and then in his tournament they won 3 in a row? They won their tournament and got a bid. So there's actually a fired coach coaching today in the NCAA round 1 of the tournament.
Hilarious.
So they didn't have that great of a year, but like in their league, everyone must make the tournament. And in a Division 1, if you win your league, you get an automatic bid to the tournament. So that was them. That's kind of a cool story.
Why did he get fired?
Because they just didn't have that great of a year until the tournament. So that's why the tournament's great. I mean, you never know. Whoever gets hot at the right time can win it. All right, homework. Get it out. Homework. Okay. What is the first one you would like to go over? I'm not going to go past 63 today. 39. It's a little chilly in here. A little chilly in here. Okay, here's how I did these. Beep.
Sorry.
39. I know. So this is basically saying, are these going to be spontaneous if I'm not changing temperature and I'm not changing pressure? Here's how I set this up. I set it up like this. Delta G equals delta H minus T delta S. So I did this for each one. And remember, delta G negative equals spontaneous. Are we good with that? So we need delta G to be negative for something to be spontaneous. So for letter A, on A, they gave me, and what I did is I just made these all into joules. So they gave me 25,000.
Why did you convert? Do you even get a converter?
Well, you have to have I can't compare kilojoules and joules. Right?
Oh, I see.
You got to convert.
Wait, what does that say? Delta G?
Delta G negative is spontaneous. 25,000 joules minus, they gave me 5 joules. So minus 5 joules. I'm not even including temperature, because they said temperature is constant, right?
It actually fluctuates within problems, though.
Yeah, but it's still positive,
Yeah.
right? That's going to result in what? Something positive. Therefore, that is non-spontaneous.
Yeah, I think I see. Now, if it was at like 200 Kelvin? for,
At
like,
200 Kelvin?
P,
Hold on. Letter B. Let's just do them all. B, I've got 25 kilojoules. So this is 25,000 joules minus, let's just throw in the temperature if we want to. I mean, we don't have to. Times minus 100 times 300,
So it's going to be.
right? So this is going to be negative, which is spontaneous. So I guess we can, if we want to include temperature, we can. C, I have negative 10,000 joules. So negative 10,000 joules. Minus, they give me 5 joules times 300. Negative 100,000 minus 1,500. Negative. Therefore it is spontaneous. Spontaneous.
Is the 5 coming from the 5?
Yeah, yes. That's just entropy. I'm not putting my units on. D, I have, once again, negative 10,000. Negative 10,000 joules minus 40 joules times 200.
That's probably.
So 40 times 200 is what? 8,000. 10,000 minus 8,000. Oh, sorry. Sorry. This should be a negative 40, right? Still, 10,000 plus 8,000 is still negative, which means it is spontaneous. So that's what we were doing on 39. Next one.
49.
Anything below 49.
Oh, 45A.
41.
Oh yeah, 41, please, 41.
Okay, 41. Ethanethiol, which is very fun to say. Ethanethiol. C2H5SH, also called ethyl mercaptan, which that sounds like some kind of cake. Let's make the mercaptan cake tonight. You could see it, right? It's like marzipan, but like mercaptan.
You're bringing us elsewhere.
Wow. Is commonly added to natural gas to provide the rotten egg smell of a gas leak. So, a lot of times they add this in. So if you smell a gas leak, you know that there's gas leaking. I will blow up, unfortunately, because I can't smell. So,
Oh shoot! Wait,
Did you just say what?
Joe is after Mr. Heller's dead. He wants to retire and dead.
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
the boiling point.
I'm gonna plead your fifth.
Whoa!
Maggie! How did you say that?
Brady.
That wasn't me.
The boiling point of ethanethiol, I just love that word, is 35 degrees Celsius and its heat of vaporization is 27.5 kilojoules per mole. What is the entropy of vaporization for this substance? So, on 41, here is how I did this. I know at boiling point. What do I know about my boiling point and delta G? If it's at boiling point, it is technically at what? Equilibrium. Agreed? That's thermal equilibrium. So delta G is 0. Agreed? So, from this equation, yes, that means that delta H equals T delta S. Agreed? I could do some rearranging with that. And I could say that T equals delta H over delta S. Or I could rearrange it again, and I could say that delta S equals delta H divided by T. Do I have all of those numbers?
Yes.
I do. So delta S equals, they gave me,
Put in joules.
it's heat of,
27,500 joules.
so that is 27,500 joules. It doesn't really matter what's the entropy of vaporization. It doesn't say what to put it in, so I'm just going to leave it in kilojoules. So 27.5 kilojoules per mole divided by what temp? 35. So that's going to be 273 plus, hold on, plus 35 Kelvin. I was just showing my work.
It's like 308, isn't it?
Yes, that would be 308.
Just hold on.
So
1 second.
delta S.
Don't.
From that, I got 89.3 joules per Kelvin times mole. I don't know. So if I have 27,500 divided by 308, yeah. I converted. I didn't show my last step. This is technically 27,500 joules. I just did that step in my head. I didn't show my conversion step. After you convert it to joules, you get 89.3. Probably should have done that first. So on that one, you had to know at boiling point, it's at equilibrium. So your delta G is 0. That was 41. Cool? I need some of that Worcester lacrosse swag. Like that hoodie is nice.
We
It's
have
like
so much
fleece on
fun.
the
We literally
inside.
get so much free stuff.
And that's on being a rich people sport.
Oh. Well, I wear XL if there's any extra. So just keep me in mind. Oh. Just saying. Mrs. Pope, if you are listening.
Molly Pope.
All right. Next one. 55. Anything below 55?
49.
49.
Let's do 45.
45? Are we just doing that because we're doing all of them, or
Let's do all of them.
Not 45. No.
45 is not it.
have you?
45.
Okay, we're gonna move on. Have you done 45? Okay, well we're not gonna do it then. So 49? Okay. 49. What is happening? All right, 49. Predict the sign of delta S, then calculate delta S for each of the following reactions. So 49. Let's go A. Let's go A. For A, I have 2 moles of gas. I have 3 moles of gas on the left, and I have 2 moles of gas on the right.
And 3 moles of solids.
And solid.
So that should be a negative delta.
That means for A, my delta S should be what? Negative. My delta S should be negative. And then my equation they gave me is 2H2S gas plus SO2 gas yields 3S rhombic plus 2H2O gas. Rhombic is, so in types of solids, this is not in the AP Chem curriculum. Rhombic is like this, how the crystals are arranged. So you just have to know that it's solid. So now I'm going to do products minus reactants. So delta S equals my sum of my delta S products minus the sum of my delta S reactants. So delta S equals, for my products, I have 3 moles, right, of my rhombic times, these numbers I'm about to write are coming from the back of the book on page 826,
That page is a lifesaver.
right? So I have to look, I will give you what you need on the test. So you want to use the book. So on the test, I'll have a page of the numbers you need. So 3 moles times, for rhombic, I had 32 joules per Kelvin times mole, plus I have 2 moles of H2O gas times 189 joules per Kelvin times mole. So I would add those up, and then I would subtract my products, I'm sorry, my reactants, which are 2 moles of H2S times H2S was 206 joules per Kelvin mole, plus 1 mole of SO2 times 248 joules per Kelvin mole. And then I would add all that up, subtract, and the delta S that I got was negative 186 joules per Kelvin. Do you want me to work out the rest of those, or just talk about the symbols? What do you want me to do?
Just move on.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Let's just talk about the symbols, though. 49B. I have 2 moles of gas going to 3 moles of gas.
Positive.
So that's going to be a positive delta S.
Ooh, C's weird.
See, the book said
C, I have on the left 3 moles of gas. On the right, I have 3 moles of gas. On the left, I have 1 mole of solid. On the right, I have 2 moles of solid. Are my moles staying constant on either side?
Nope.
On the left, I've got 4 moles of stuff. On the right, I got 5 moles of stuff. It is balanced. So by just looking at this, there's really no easy way to tell. And what did the book say?
Hard to predict since delta N, I'm assuming being moles equals 0.
Right, because if we're looking at moles of gases, it's really hard to say. So I don't think you can predict that, which is kind of dumb, which why would they put one like that?
I just would have said that because we increase moles of solid, it would be negative, but I guess,
But you can't compare because your moles of solid wasn't consistent.
yeah.
So, so C, you should have ended up with 138 joules per Kelvin, and B, you should have ended up with 187. So I'm just going to give you those so you have them, joules per Kelvin. So C does end up being positive, but it's not like you can really tell by looking at that. Kind of like my daughter's dentist appointment yesterday. So my daughter had a dentist appointment, remember the tooth thing? So she had a regular dentist appointment, just a cleaning yesterday. The dentist said everything looks good. So, by looking at the outside of it.
Do you like going to the dentist?
I despise it.
I love going to the dentist.
I literally had to take her, because my wife was working, and I had a hoodie on. EJ Therapy. She's a speech therapist. While I was in there, they were doing the water pick on her teeth. Has anybody ever had the water pick done on you?
Splashes all over the place.
I hate that. It does not feel good. It hurts.
It's just water.
I think I have sensitive teeth. I know, but it sounds like this. Like that sound. I found myself twisting my hoodie. I was wearing this hoodie, twisting the hoodie string, and my mouth was covered. Like, it triggered me. Like, it literally triggered me. And then I had a view to another room, and the dentist was doing some kind of procedure on someone else. And I saw the assistant handing him all the tools. And I was literally just like this. While my daughter has her sunglasses on, she's just like relaxed.
One time,
Like,
and my mom was like, do not give her like the laughing gas, like she'll have a bad reaction. And then the lady was like, no, like we're gonna do it anyways. And I was like, I can't feel it. And I'm like sitting there and I'm like, because she was like, do you feel it now? Do you feel it now? I'm like, no. And then it hit me all at once, and I like grabbed the armchairs and I was like, get it off, and I ripped my mask off because it was like so bad.
so, but the good thing is, he said the tissue looks great. He felt the tooth. He said the tooth feels solid. What?
So what did they do to like fix her teeth?
Shoved it back in. Literally. Then they like braced it between the front two to like hold it solid. And then at the endodontist, he did like, cause like he said the inside pulp is like not good.
Oh.
So he put a medicated filling inside of there.
Yeah.
And now it's just a waiting game to see if like it took. So it's just like nerves.
Is it a baby tooth?
It was her adult tooth. You still have a baby tooth?
I think I fell and knocked out the 3 front baby teeth, but
Yeah, that's not a big
that
deal.
doesn't matter.
Right.
So.
So
Knock out so many of them.
he said, so my dentist said it's a process. But like, even if like it isn't good, it could still last for a long time. Like, ideally we need it to last till she's 20. You can't get an implant till you're 20. Because your brain, your skull's still growing. So, but as of now, look, there's no discoloration. You can't even tell. It looks like a normal tooth. So he said without getting an x-ray, he would never have even known it happened. So, which is pretty amazing. The endodontist said that because she's so young, she has a lot of stem cells up there still. So like that could help. But he still said it was a 50-50 shot. So, we'll see what happens from here. But so far so good. Thanks for asking. No, you didn't ask. I told you. Okay. But thanks for caring. Jack, I can tell you were very triggered by listening to that whole story. I'm sorry. That's how I would feel too. And I don't like my wife just goes to these appointments. I'm like, just go. I'll stay home with Jovi. Like I like just pull like that. I'll be like the person who stays home. Because the dentist does not bug her. Like my daughters are like, they look relaxed, literally in the chair.
I don't like when they like do that.
My wife said at her last cleaning, she almost fell asleep.
Are you?
I'm like, I do not understand that.
I'm too entertained.
You think it's relaxing?
Yeah, and then you come
come out and your teeth are clean, like, yeah, that's all.
Okay, the clean teeth is nice,
I think we have different dentist experiences, because I've.
but the scraping you have to go through to get there.
I hate it. And then the
Oh.
smell of teeth, ugh.
My wife, well, I don't have to worry about that. Oh, also, I had to watch my daughter pick out her flavor for her polishing thing. She picked cookie dough.
I get like.
I tried it once.
Okay, I got like mint
are
and
boring.
cinnamon one time,
mint's
and
the
I
best
already
one.
couldn't taste the cinnamon by the time the mint came.
The hygienist, no, not even to ask me. Just give me the mint. It's the most plain thing, the closest thing to toothpaste. So then she said cookie dough, and I'm like, "Ugh." Like, has anybody, you like the cookie dough?
Yeah, I like it.
See, I don't want to taste it. I'm like, just put that thing in in my mouth so I can get that. That is the exact sound, is it not? Like, that's how it sounds. So my, yes. Is that not how it sounds?
We weren't expecting.
And she's like, I'm just waiting for her to say close so I can get that out of there.
Okay. Here's you.
I'm gonna be like trying to study for the test, and I'm just gonna.
Like that is literally what it sounds like, guys. All right. All right.
Look it up, 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 look it up.
Next one.
56.
56.
Look it up.
Anything below 56? No?
Okay, I did it.
Oh, well, great job. Anything below 56?
Our, 55A specifically.
55A. All right, 55A.
What happened to you?
Jawway couldn't take it.
This is gonna be on the recording.
Yeah.
It is. My wife said, so we go to Dr. Zacher, who's now Dr. Wanger. Anybody go there? No. My wife always thought that Dr. Zacher's gloves smelled like bread. So her favorite part of her appointment was waiting for him to come at the end to smell his bread hands, is what she called them.
Are they That is weird.
So
Are they like the oat gloves?
I don't know, but now she says Dr. Wanger, his hands smell regular. Like they don't smell like bread. So I told her I think it might have been in her head. But it's also when you like become like a real adult and start getting like insurance stuff, it's amazing how like when the dentist comes in and like pokes your teeth for that 5 minutes, like that's like a checkup. Because it's like the cleaning and then like they charge you for that as a separate thing. Anyways. I don't have to pay because I have insurance and I get 2 cleanings a year. What'd you say to Brady?
They do like the oral cancer screening too much of the time.
All of that's little face massage.
Do they do the fluoride? Do they do the fluoride trays still?
No, they no, I love getting fluoride.
See, they paint it on the. They didn't paint when I was a kid, and they put these trays of foam
Oh my god.
in there.
Fitted for a retainer.
Yeah, and this foam, and you know what? And you know what you had to do? You had to leave it in there, and then they put the thing in there and just slowly, like sucked it out. You had to wait for that to get.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Like if you hit a pimple, like do you like picking at your pimples?
You do that.
I do that all the time.
Yeah,
Why
it's
is
like
it?
We're sitting at the lunch table when she popped it. It went like flying.
Okay. Listen.
That was actually.
It hurts so
All right. If we're answering this question, I try not to touch my face because that's the best thing you can do.
yeah.
If it's like an internal, you got to just leave it, right? I've had it before where I've tried to like get rid of an internal one and then just like made a huge red spot on my
I think
face.
That's like why I like going to the dentist so much because they're like picking at like my teeth. You know,
That's
like.
no, it's
No,
not.
that's nasty. That's nasty.
Are you watching like the pimple popping videos on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, my mom literally works in dermatology, so.
Oh.
Okay, well, yeah.
But
It's so
I need to get out of this.
Okay, but the worst part about going to the dentist is I have
56 oh, we're
melon
gonna do
on the back of my
Me
teeth.
personally, I've never done
Got
that.
it.
Do you get Delta S negative?
Like, it
Delta
actually.
All right. A.
No, I literally.
Bingos.
A.
Maybe I just don't want to talk.
Here we go. So A says predict the signs of delta H and delta S. Let's talk about this. So what I have here for A, I said when bond energy. So we have to talk about bond energy. When bond I should probably say when bond is formed. When bond is formed. Because you would agree, I formed a bond here. I had two individual molecules of oxygen, and then I bonded it into one molecule of oxygen.
exist in no way though? Is James Bond
This,
just 2O?
I mean, maybe in some like atmospheric stuff when they're like doing your ozone and stuff like that. Like this could be like an intermediate. So I said when bond energy is formed, well, I'm sorry, when bond is formed, what happens to energy? Energy is what? Think about it. Think about the charts we looked at. They went like this and then dip down. No. Energy is released. Energy is released. When a bond is formed, energy is released. Why? Because it becomes more what? Stable. Therefore, delta H is going to be what? Negative.
Oh,
Delta H is going to be negative.
sounds like Gallagher.
Also, my delta S also is going to have to be negative.
Because you go from 2 moles of gas.
Yes.
1 mole.
So the delta S we knew, right? The delta S we knew. But the delta H, you had to think about your bond energy. Now, 55B, would the reaction be, well, let's just do it because we're here. Would the reaction be more spontaneous at high or low temperatures? So I have delta G, hold on, equals delta S minus T. Is that right? Did I write that right?
No.
Did I flip it? Ah, shoot. You're right. Delta H minus T delta S. So I know that delta G equals, my delta H is a negative, minus my delta S is also a negative. So in order to make this whole thing positive, I need this number in the middle to be what? Really, really what? Really negative, right? A big negative number. Yes? Because a negative minus a negative times a negative gives me a positive. Yes? Yes. So this would be spontaneous. Spontaneous at very low temperatures. Spontaneous at very low temperatures. So that was 55A. And B.
Can we see 50?
Sure. 56.
I just don't know what it means.
So we got 56. Hydrogen cyanide is produced industrially by the following exothermic reaction. I have 2NH3. I'm going to miss you guys. Gas. Plus 3O2 after the AP test. Plus
We're gonna get him in time?
2CA. Well, okay, before. We'll do it. Once we finish this,
For the AP test.
Oh, yeah. Be a power.
okay, that would be a power
Oh,
move.
I gotta show Megan this. The real AP chem
Oh,
was
God.
2CH4.
Wait, no, I'm automatically scared. Is that
We should
PRH
brainstorm
plutonium
for
and
ideas
is
for
that
this year
catalyst?
over spring break.
Yes.
Your finger.
So PTRH, that's a catalyst, yields 2 HCN plus 6 H2O gas.
This is spawn.
All right, so that's my reaction. It says, is high temperature needed for the thermodynamic or kinetic reasons? So we are on 56. It says, is high temperature needed for thermodynamic or kinetic reasons? I said on 56 that my delta S is what?
Oh, I didn't know where to start, so I didn't count.
First thing I would do is I would figure out my delta S.
Should be positive.
Should be positive. Why?
Oh, increased moles of gas.
Because I have more moles of gas. Yes. So I wrote down what I know. So delta S is positive because more moles of gas formed. Now, if I know that my delta H is what? Do they give me delta H?
No, they don't.
But you could figure it out that my delta H is actually, they're both it's going to be spontaneous at all temperatures. Right? Yes, it is. I will just tell you. It's going to be spontaneous at all temps. So that means that if I'm going to, for this reaction mixture, I would have to heat it in order to, because if I solved here, in order to make this happen, I would have to heat it, because this is, if I would have to add heat, that would mean that it is, if I want to drive it to the right, this is actually, if it's endothermic, right? Because I would write heat as a product. Yes. So this is endothermic. It's endothermic, and you can figure that out by doing your delta H products minus reactants. So, would I need to heat it though, if it's spontaneous at all temperatures, to make this? No. So, because of that, it's asking, is the high temperature needed for thermodynamic or kinetic reasons? Do I need to increase the temperature for any thermodynamic reasons, for temperature-wise? It's going to happen. So then, the other option is for I to choose one. So it's going to be kinetic reasons.
That's just making sure everything aligns.
Yes. So that's just kinetic. And that's just saying that to make sure that my collisions are aligning in the right way. So if I have a higher temperature, they're moving faster, more likelihood of them hitting at the right spot. I'm glad I just made sure that we got that on video. That's 56. Next one. Let's try to do one more. Anything else up till 63?
Nar.
No?
We should have the shirt.
Yeah, we should design this.
What color? Hey,